The AI bubble might be about to burst, and this could have massively damaging consequences for Canada. Here's the TLDR. AI companies have been massively overvalued by investors, with companies like NVIDIA being valued at $5 trillion. NVIDIA is a US chip maker that makes generative AI possible. Over the weekend, superstar investors made moves against AI, with Palantir's Peter Thiel dumping his investments in NVIDIA, and Michael Burry placing a $1 billion short against NVIDIA and Palantir. And if you're thinking, oh, is it the same guy from The Big Short? You're right. It is that guy from The Big Short. And so the guy who is immortalized in pop culture as being played by Christian Bale and predicting the 2008 financial crash is essentially wagering that stocks in AI companies will fall. Since then, other investors have jumped aboard the lifeboat. And on Monday and Tuesday, we saw AI stocks drop significantly. And without the piles of money being invested in AI, the US economy would be in a deep recession. So, what does this all have to do with ordinary people in Canada who don't have million-dollar hedge funds to play shorting games with? Basically, all of Canada's large pension funds, which serve over 40 million Canadians, count AI stocks as their largest holding. Or they are loaded up on funds which are in turn invested in AI stocks. And if the AI bubble were to crash, national banks say they have no playbook on how to deal with the fallout. And things look much scarier when you look at how deeply Mark Carney's government has invested in AI. In the recently passed federal budget, allocated $1 billion to expanding Canada's AI infrastructure. The federal departments have been instructed to go all in on generative AI use. The Carney government has also funneled tons of money into mining critical minerals, as well as fossil fuels and nuclear energy in order to power AI data centers and chip making. So what is the Canadian government to do exactly? They could bail out AI companies, which is what we saw in 2008 when the Obama administration bailed out Wall Street. Or they could introduce and fight for legislation that insulates our pensions and public funds from this systemic risk. They could also implement a spending and infrastructure pause on all new AI data centers. There's actually a lot of things they could be doing, but simply bailing out these big tech companies shouldn't be one of them. You can read this full article at breachmedia.ca.